Let's just pick. Okay. Here's the fruit, and here's the flower. I'll say, well, let's see what the next one is. And there's the bumblebee that's using this guideline to go around the circle and getting the pollen on its back. Okay? All right, well then let's just see what else. There it is without the bumblebee. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at, oh, and then, you can, I think you can blow this damn thing up too, somehow. Well, anyway, you can blow, I'm not going to try it, but used to be there was a...
That makes me want to stop killing those damn carpenter bees.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, and then we can move it around. Pretty awesome, huh? And these are handheld photos. I mean, I didn't take them with, you know. So it's a fun thing to play with, you know, even if you don't. Y'all all know sassafras, right? Well, not my dog, the plant. Sassafras is in the Lauraceae. See, if I remember how. Well, I forgot to remember to put it in. Well, sorry about that. This is black gum, Nyssa sylvatica, with the little tiny flowers in spring. They're separate male and female, so this is a male that has only the male anthers in it, so you can actually see that. So anyway, this is soon to be available. I've got to put the Lauraceae back in there so that a few, and it's a work in progress. But if anybody would like, I think you have that's what the thumb drive. Yeah. Or if you'd like to play with it right now, I think it does kind of bridge the gap between the herbarium and the real world by giving you the color and also giving you close-ups and habitat and pollinator and all sorts of things that well, just one more here, just to tantalize you a little bit. Let's go. Everybody knows the magnolias, right? So here I have a tremendous number of, everybody loves magnolias, but let's try this. I don't know why it's not listening to me. There we go. That's on my wall, so, I mean, the picture is. But you see, there's the fruit. Oh, this is kind of cool. You see that the seeds dangle down and they're bright red. And the reason for that is that they're enticing the bird to eat it. And so that is an actual, you know, and they only come out when they're ripe. So you have all this kind of neat, here's the unripe. Pretty cool. So you get an idea of that it's an art as well as a science if you like plants. But I've told Mary before at the beginning that if PAC would like to sell this and as a money maker, I'd be glad to make it available to you. So I mean, I can enjoy them. This is the Virginiana. This is the low, but this actually will grow in secluded areas, probably not in Polk County, but in Spartanburg. So, but this is, I say it's a work in progress. I'll always be adding to them, but I think with, you know, you can learn enough to know what the family is or suspect it's, if you suspect it's a rose, we have a few examples. And like yours. So you give a good example of what's possible. Crataegus, that's kind of a cool one. But anyway, if that would be helpful, I'll be glad to make that available to you. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Yeah?
I was kind of curious that a lot of plants are now extinct.
Mm-hmm.
You have this seed bank, and yet you're evaluating genetically modified plants and letting the natural stuff just fall apart. Why is that? Because, well, that's a good question, and there are a number of, one of the things in horticulture and in agriculture is you want a steady product. You want apples to all grow and bloom at the same time, get pollinated at the same time, produce the fruit at the same time, and the fruit, one apple look just like the other apple. So to do that, then you've got to reduce the genetic variation so that you are constantly getting a constant product. You want in corn, you want not only the corn cobs to mature at the same, you want it at the same height so that the mechanical picker can go through, and so all of these things, you say, well, we're breeding in as much resistance as we possibly can, you know, but there's always new diseases. There's always new, and the diseases mutate much more rapidly than your seed stock. So they're going to win eventually. They're going to find a way. And then once you've got a disease in a field of apples, it's going to spread throughout the apple, because one apple is just like the other apple. So that devastation is inevitable, and famine is inevitable at some point in time with that occurring. Why do we not preserve the wild stock? That's exactly what Vaviloff was saying. What the hell are you doing? You know, here you are, you're just ensuring famine in the future by getting rid of all the variation within a crop and not even knowing where the wild stock is. So yeah, and in horticulture, you know, the same thing. You want the flower to look like the picture in the catalog. One of the things that driving me crazy right now is Spartanburg is replanting some cherries that along Pine Street that have become diseased and are old. And so instead of taking and planting native cherries or planting red bud or planting silver bell or some of the wonderful, what are they doing? They're planting an oriental cherry. Oh. And they said, oh, well, it's bred they've grafted it to native cherries, so it's all right. Well, the reason they've grafted it to native cherries is because we have a nematode, a little worm, that would destroy the roots of the Chinese cherry. So they grafted it on, so now we have two species grafted together. The fruit is going to be of the Chinese, not the American. The roots don't produce many flowers, or any fruits. So, and now you're going to have another means of an alien species taking over. And I can't convince them that this is not the thing to do. When we have such beautiful native plants, hawthorns, just an incredible variety, and yet, well, this is what you can get in the horticulture. I said, I can give you, from my own 4 acres of land, I can give you the native seeds if you want them, you know. It's not a question that they're not available. They just, you don't buy them, you go out and collect them. So why we don't do it, I don't know.
Is there a source of native plants around here you'd recommend? Trees and things like that?
Woodlanders in Aiken, I don't know if they're still, they're pretty reliable. Woodlanders, I think it is, Woodland.
Yeah, it's woodland, and there's also the Carolina Native Nursery in Burnsville.
Okay.
Carolina Native Nursery.
In both North Carolina and South Carolina, they have plant societies that has plant sales.
Yeah.
Several times a year.
And the next one will be in October, and I went to see it this spring, and it's definitely worth going, but be sure you get there at the beginning. It starts at 9 o'clock, get there at 8:30.
At Carolina Native Plants in Burnsville.
Yeah, you can, let me,
The South
Okay.
Carolina
Yeah.
Native Plant
I'm at the PAC
Society.
office.
October the 18th is the fall length plants sale.
Oh, great, great.
And,
Thank you.
October 18th.
I just wanted to say a personal thank you to Jill. I've known Jill for over 25 years.
Is there? Oh, Lord. I should have been sitting down.
As many of you know, I was with the Land Trust in Spartanburg for 19 years, and Jill was such an amazing resource for me and our Land Trust. I could call on her and say, Jill, we're going to look at some property, will you go? And she was, you know, the first cheerleader there. She did plant inventories of several of our nature preserves in Spartanburg and did it because she loves it. And Jill, I don't know if you remember this, but one time I wanted a quote from you, and you said, okay, in this world, and it's be a life worth living. Yeah, you did.
So do we have some